you might just see the odd shower bubbling up through the course of the afternoon, say across parts of Scotland. One or two of these dots of blue here and there. And a bit more cloud, but come to the central lowlands, down to the borders of Scotland, and you've got a fairly pleasant afternoon. Northern England, here we are. Looks good as well. Your numbers are into the lower 20s. And then come down to the south and the east, small risk for the odd shower, but otherwise we're fine, we're dry. We're 26, maybe even 27 to, say, London. Come further south and west, and just some cloud bubbling up, but a fairly pleasant afternoon, particularly maybe along the coast with perhaps some of those sea breezes making it feel that little bit cooler. Into parts of Wales, there'll be just some clouds, some sunshine here and there. A bit more cloud as well across the Irish Sea, just sort of lurking here and there, but otherwise looking fine. And Northern Ireland, a little bit more cloud, small risk for the odd shower, but I think we'll be fine as well. Next couple of days to Glastonbury. Look at the weather as well and the temperatures. There's a small risk for a shower, but I think otherwise we're mainly dry. Of course, if you aren't going, coverage for all of it on the BBC. As we work through the night, whatever showers have bubbled up, we say goodbye to them pretty quickly. Remember our swirl of cloud? That's our little band of wet weather, the area blue. That works into Northern Ireland, western parts of Scotland. Another close night for some of us. The fan is spinning in the bedroom, perhaps 16 for London. Elsewhere, 11, 12 to 13. That gets us in Saturday. Lovely start to the day for quite a few of us, except to the north and the west. Parts of Northern Ireland, western Scotland. A bit more cloud as our weather front just sort of eases in here. There could be a few showers. The air just that little bit more unstable, and boom, into the afternoon, one or two bubbling up here and there. And maybe as high as 26, 27 into a few, maybe even the odd spot higher than that, a little bit cooler the further west drop. Low pressure to the west, he's sitting there, spinning around, trying to come in, but it's that warm southerly feed of air that works its way in that certainly makes it feel quite a hot sort of Sunday, with temperatures certainly creeping up there. A bit more cloud into parts of Scotland, towards Northern Ireland, a few spots of rain. To the south and east, with that warm air coming in, we could be up to around 30. That's the weather for now.
World leaders are gathering in Toronto for the G20 summit. Tackling the global economic crisis is expected to dominate discussions. David Cameron says the summit should not be a talking shop and must deliver on the big issues. The Bank of England warns that the Eurozone debt crisis is still a risk to UK banks. A man's been found guilty of taking part in Britain's biggest jewellery robbery. They've been practising penalties, but with the pressure on for England, how does the goalkeeper rate their chances against Germany?
The intention for us, obviously, is to win the game in 90 minutes. If it requires extra time, if it goes to penalties, then there's an opportunity for Germany to miss.
Coming up later on in sport, marathon man John Isner is back on court at Wimbledon less than 24 hours after winning the longest tennis match in history.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the BBC News at 1. The heads of the world's leading industrial nations are meeting in Canada. It's the first such summit for David Cameron as Prime Minister. He's called for the discussion to be more than just grand talking shops and urged the leaders of the G8 and G20 nations to make sure they deliver for people on the big issues, the global economy, reforming banks and boosting trade. Well, our diplomatic correspondent Bridget Kendall is at that summit for us near Toronto. Bridget.
Yes, Kate, leaders are assembling for the G8 portion of this double summit that's coming first. They're going to start with a working lunch, and the agenda is going to be, say the Canadians, focused on security. That's issues like Afghanistan and nuclear threats, and also global poverty. And the Canadians want to make giving aid for maternal health to be the top issue. A military operation for the arrival of VIPs at this Canada summit. After all, it's not one gathering, but two. And with his first entrance at a G8 meeting, David Cameron, already making waves today with a call to world leaders for less hype and grandstanding and more tangible action. High alert for the thousands of police drafted in, this is being billed as Canada's biggest security event ever. A 10-foot-high security fence, riot police at the ready. Local residents aren't happy.
Hey, give us back our city, take down that fence. We don't want to live in a police state.
This is a big event, not just because it's a double summit attended by the world's most powerful leaders, but because so much is at stake. Finding a way to boost the fragile economic recovery without forgetting about the world's poor in the process. The leafy lakeside resort of Deerhurst is the backdrop for today's G8 discussions on poverty. But at this Oxfam briefing, they warned some G8 nations were backsliding on old promises, reluctant to cough up in these times of austerity. So campaigners are resting their hopes on public pressure.
I do feel that there is a sense of responsibility in the air. There's a feeling that it's possible to help what has been, in my view, invented as an impossible situation. In other words, rescuing the